I'm not no punk. I ain't no bitch. I was raised by one. You see what I'm saying? And people know that about me. I'm not that dude. I was very nice to you. I was always cool with you. I was cool with Jamar, all of them mother. And two men gossiping about another man, that's to me. And then he said, which was another lie, that I was feeding him meals like I'm some United Way motherfucker. I'm like, what are you talking? I went to your house one time. You're lying, and you're lying to black people, black men, so that you can pit us against each other. You fuck black women, then you pit us against each other. I don't like motherfuckers like you. It's bullshit, and you're lying.
The latest In Godfrey We Trust stream had the rhythm of an unfiltered barbershop conversation. One guy venting, the other leaning back in the chair, occasionally tossing in a laugh or a question. In this case, Godfrey was the one doing the venting, walking Will Mills through the full saga of his time on Vlad TV, his decision to leave, and why he refuses to return. Will wasn't there to argue or push him one way or another. He was there to listen, react, and let Godfrey unpack it all. Godfrey began by explaining how he first got on Vlad TV. At the time, it was all about opportunity. He'd been watching the interviews, liked the setup, and thought it would be a great platform to showcase his personality. The way he saw it, it was a mutually beneficial arrangement. Vlad got engaging content, Godfrey got exposure to millions of viewers. There was no drama then, just two professionals crossing paths for a win-win situation.
I got you on there because you did your first Vlad TV.
Yes, sir.
You did your first Vlad TV.
And let's be clear. Before I even went on Vlad, I called you first.
You sure did. He called me.
I called you first, and I said, listen, I know you got your issues with Vlad. You my homie now. We cool. We rocking.
No doubt.
You know, it's not even getting permission. It's like, how you feel about me doing the show?
And I said,
you know, and you said, yo, do it.
I said, do it. Why? And I'm looking at it from your position. I go, it's a popular show.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why I got on Vlad was like, I was loving the interviews. I was watching all these. I was like, I like this. I didn't know what his race was. I was like,
I didn't know until recently.
I was like, I want to do that. I want
to
do that show. So I had a hook up. And when I was at Sirius XM, hey man, you know, oh yeah, I can get you. We hooked up, boom, boom, boom. You know, and we even have the same barber. Me and Vlad did. Oh, and I said, man, and when I got on there, I was having fun. I go, he knows why I'm on there. He's making money off us. Yeah, I want my profile to go higher. It's a symbiotic relationship. We all know why we're here, right? So, I said, yeah, do it. You're just starting. You're coming up in your shit. That would be smart for you to do that. Take advantage. Be as funny as you can. Express yourself. So take advantage of that. It's a no-brainer. My relationship has nothing to do with your relationship. TK Kirkland is on there. Yeah. He has his reasons. I have my reasons.
Things changed after the Farrakhan controversy. Godfrey recounted how Vlad had taken Minister Farrakhan's metaphor about throwing the stone of truth at evil and twisted it into a literal call for violence. For someone with Godfrey's Chicago upbringing and familiarity with Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, that was a serious misrepresentation. The fallout was immediate. Godfrey's DMs blew up, people questioned his association with Vlad, and the situation escalated into a conference call with Lord Jamar and Vlad himself. On that call, they demanded an apology to Farrakhan. Vlad responded with something Godfrey described as a hollow, corporate-sounding statement, more PR deflection than genuine accountability. This stood in stark contrast to Nick Cannon's swift, heartfelt apology in a similar situation. Cannon had far more at stake, employing countless black creatives, and still took responsibility within minutes.
Well, what happened? And Lord Jamar called me, say, yo, we got to talk to this man. We got to talk to him. I said, yeah, let's not talk behind his back. Let's talk to him, conference call. And we say, yo, what's up, man? I heard you said something about minister. And I saw this speech that he was talking about. I go, you misquoted him, dude. He did a metaphor.
Yeah.
And Minister Farrakhan said, we throw the stone of truth at fake, Jays.
Yeah.
At fake people who are fake.
Smarts.
Right?
Smarts.
We throw the stone of truth. He goes, we don't kill them. No, it's metaphoric. We throw the stone of truth at evil. That it was metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minister, no matter whether you like him or not, black or white, he's not a dumb man.
Not at all.
Far from it.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And so I said, wow, you misquoted him. I said, yo, you should give him, you owe him an apology, you know, you really do. He says, well, I sent out an apology. That sounded like an apology from a company.
Yeah, that sounded like
we,
your PR.
We here don't
your PR
do these
people
kinds
wrote
of
a thing
behavior.
and then you signed it.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's bullshit. And Jamar went harder on him and said, yo, how the fuck you wanted Nick Cannon to apologize to your people?
Yeah.
Nick,
On the quickness.
which Nick did, and people were getting mad at Nick, going, Nick shouldn't have done that. I said, no, Nick should have done it.
Because he's a business.
When I was on Wild 'N Out, do you know how many motherfuckers he hires that are black?
The whole cast.
This man has everything to lose.
Yeah.
He hires black
writers,
producers,
producers,
makeup artists, costumes,
hairdressers,
his family, his brothers. I saw this shit. Over 30 episodes of Wild 'N Out. This man hires us, man.
yeah.
And he hires other races. He should have said, I'm glad he did that.
Vlad, by comparison, waited 5 years before offering an apology on Willie D's podcast, a delay Godfrey considered not only disrespectful, but also proof of how little Vlad valued the community he profited from. That was the turning point for Godfrey. He decided he wouldn't return to Vlad TV, not out of hate, but because he wasn't willing to compromise his principles for exposure. He told Will plainly that he could still recognize the platform's reach, but his personal ethics came first.
And then that was it. And so we never.
So Lord Jamar was the one who even suggested.
He was the one that pushed it. Like I said, I was like, I said, boom, good. I got to go with that. I'm standing on that. And I'm like, I didn't hate Vlad. I just go, I'm not doing your show. For moral reasons.
And he never apologized?
He never did until 5 years ago. This year, he went on Willie D's podcast, Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, who's my dude out of Houston. If you know the Ghetto Boys, he was like, he apologized. And I go, 5 years later?
Yeah, it's corny.
5 years later? That's
corny.
how long it took you, but Nick Cannon did it within minutes?
In seconds.
But 5 years later, that's the respect you have for black people. 5 years later, I thought it was bullshit.
That is bullshit.
That's just to me.
Because it's not a sincere apology.
To me, it's not. So he goes, well, now that I look at it, no, it was a real simple thing you could have done.
Yeah, it
plain
took you
and
5
simple.
years to look at a mistake.
And maybe things would have been different at this point, but you decided the window was there, and 5 years later.
The story didn't end there. Godfrey also covered the Lord Jamar angle.
Me and Jamar were fine until like that flat Earth thing happened with Dave and the flat Earth bullshit.
Hilarious.
He's mad. He's mad that he's mad that I don't
talked about that.
What?
That's one of the absolute funniest things I've ever seen in my life, bro.
I
was talking about Godfrey came on the show and on my show, and I brought it up and I said, "Listen, there's nothing funnier than a person who stands solid on their beliefs."
Yeah.
And then when they lose on their beliefs, they resort to violence, bro.
Yeah.
To see Jamar crashing out is hilarious. It reminds me of his character on Oz that died from eating eggs. Y'all saw that shit? Yeah. You ever seen him on Oz?
No, I never.
I remember he was on Oz.
That when I was,
He was on Oz. He was a big character on there. And he ate
Did he do
eggs.
butt naked shit? No.
Bro, it was embarrassing, by the way. I saw it today and I was like, damn, man.
What did
I
he
would never
do?
did this shit
What did he
properly.
do?
You know, he went on Vlad with the bad Jordans. He had the Mexican Jordans on.
Oh, wow.
And he got called out about that. And then when he went back to Skit Time, he had an even worse pair of Jordans on. This is recently.
Oh,
said,
yeah.
damn, Jamar.
I saw the video.
He wore the Mexican Jordans on the first one. And then he went back with the clearance rack 6s. Like he had the wrong color, like the pair, the back to school specials.
Right.
That's what he had on. And I said, damn, Jamar, you're not making your case any better, bro. So he's been taking some L's.
So my thing is like, you know, I know he's been going to different people. After that, Jamar got mad at me and, you know, and then he said, you know, you my friend, right? Blah, 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 blah. And then he would go on other podcasts say, he's not my friend. And I was like, but you said I was your friend. Why they got to show the why?
No, well, let me see the message.
As he kept talking, Godfrey addressed some of Vlad's public claims, namely that Godfrey had begged to be on the show and that Vlad had fed him meals. Godfrey shot both down, saying their collaborations were mutually agreed upon and unpaid, part of the bigger picture exchange of visibility. He'd only been to Vlad's house once and never needed or asked for food. To him, these false claims were just another way Vlad tried to spin narratives for his own advantage.
Vlad says that I begged to be on his show. I go, I never begged you. I just asked. Nobody begs. Nobody.
Yeah.
People ask me to be on my show. We all ask, hey, can you come on my show? Sure.
Yeah.
I really want you on my show.
Yeah, he
You
framed it like you were sending him 7 messages a day.
And
Yeah,
that's
he left it on
bullshit.
red, no.
I would do a show, and then I'd be like, yo, we both call each other, hey, let's do another show. Yeah. We both call. It's like it was normal, but you're lying. My thing is you're lying, sir. Stop fucking lying. You don't have to like me, whatever. I don't owe you a conversation. If we have a conversation, we'll have it. And you're lying to people saying I didn't beg. And then he said, which was another lie, that I was feeding him meals like I'm some fucking United Way motherfucker. I'm like, what are you talking? I went to your house one time. What are you talking? We've smoked cigars. I introduced you to Jeremy Piven. You came to my shows at the Laugh Factory and all this other shit. And you said you fed me. I've never begged anybody for food. My parents provided us with food all the time. I've never starved. What the fuck are you talking about? You're lying, and you're lying to black people, black men, so that you can pit us against each other. You fuck black women, then you fucking pit us against each other. I don't like motherfuckers like you. It's bullshit, and you're lying. My thing is, stand on truth. Now, if he said, I'd be like, if it was true, I'd be like, yeah, he did feed me, though. I didn't have no money and shit. And another thing is, I've been educated by the coldest fucking black historians in Chicago. I have been like that since I was 17. And motherfucker, this is lightweight shit to me, man. I'm not no punk. I ain't no bitch. I was raised by one. You see what I'm saying? And people know that about me. I'm not that dude. I was very nice to you. I was always cool with you. I was cool with Jamar, all of them motherfuckers. And 2 men gossiping about another man, that's faggoty shit to me.
Throughout the retelling, Godfrey made his stance clear. Vlad profited from black culture without engaging with its deeper realities, treating guests like entertainment rather than people. Godfrey contrasted Vlad's public image, flanked by security, with his own confidence, grounded in years of studying under some of Chicago's most respected black historians. Will's role here was to take it all in. He laughed at the funny moments, like Godfrey's jabs about 2 men gossiping about another man, or the Lord Jamar fashion roasts, but mostly he let Godfrey speak. This wasn't a debate or a back and forth about strategy. It was one man recounting a situation he'd lived through and another man giving him the space to tell it. By the end, the conversation felt less like a dramatic showdown and more like a personal debrief. Godfrey wasn't angling for sympathy or plotting revenge. He was laying out why he walked away and why he's not coming back, no matter how many people tell him it would be good for business. Will, for his part, didn't try to sway him. He just listened, laughed where it fit, and let Godfrey's story stand on its own.